Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let me see who was here first, or should I say, who was here an hour and 4 minutes ago? Pally, thank you so much. Or is it Pele? Thank you for being here. Hello, everyone from Southern California. Still up after watching the coronation at 2 a.m. this morning. Good grief. Okay, I understand. I was up myself all night and then I took a nap, and here I am, refreshed and ready to go. B10 Pow, hello. Oh, let me put this up here. There we go. Okay. And who else is here? Fancy Fancy, Perlina Answer, Miss Yanni Travels, Lorna Williams, and Daisy next. Okay. I'm still working on that. Joy Amore, Gwendolyn Daniels, yes, Nancy Herlock, Lydia Washington, Panther 325, MJB, Lucy Wynn. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll all the way to the end. Connie Balmer, thanks for coming back, Connie Balmer. All right. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna go. All right, here I am. Susie Q. Okay. Oh, Mignon Hind. I'm sorry, Heinz Murray. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here on Archie's birthday. Archie Mountbatten. I'm sorry, Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor's birthday. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, very cool. All right, so let's get to it then. Welcome to Royal Sussex. Um, as we all know, it was 4 years ago today that Harry stood in front of those horses, or as I like to say, those parkabows. He stood in front of those too soon. Too soon. I mean, she has been anointed, but is it too soon? Okay, I didn't think so. But anyway, oh, how adorable! Just a chip off the old Papa. There he is, Papa's Archie. And of course, let's see what the birthday celebration has raised. I haven't looked at it lately. I'm going to go and take a peek right now. Okay, community. Oh, it's the first thing on there. Great. You know what? I just said to myself, 65,000. And you know what? $65,101. 326% over what they were asking for. 15,000, I'm sorry, no, 1,500. Look at me getting ahead of myself. 1,514 supporters. That means 1,514 people within the Sussex squad has contributed money to Kaboom. All right. Ava Langren says Harry carried himself well and exited that freak show quickly, straight to the airport to reunite with his family. Thank you very much for the super chat. And yes, he was quite the gentleman. Um, and very well received in spite of everything that the papers tried to stir up. And I'm glad of that because, people are subject to suggestion. And oh, look at that. Look at that. I call that family the Montecito miracle. In spite of everything that has been like thrown at them, they are not only surviving, but they are thriving. Thank you, Connie Balmer, for the super sticker. Oh, I could do better than that. The super sticker. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for staying up with us. All right. So, anyway, I just love Archie. Adorable. And a master piano player, I might add. Nobody can twinkle, twinkle, little star like he can. Nobody. I mean, each note that he squeezes out brings a tear to my eye. Rick, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Happy Archie Mountbatten-Windsor's birthday. All right, so let's get into it, you guys. Let's get into it. You know who's missing from the balcony? Where is Princess Anne? Oh, you know what? Princess Anne, I see her feather back there inside. And so, I don't know. Maybe since her kids weren't on the balcony, maybe she didn't want to be on the balcony. Maybe she came out later, but I don't think so. I think she opted out of it. Oh, well, I mean, she's kind of in the picture, but she's kind of not. But I suspect that Princess Anne opted out of the balcony movement, which is weird because, you know, they make it seem like there's nothing else in this world that anybody would ever want than to stand out there on that balcony and let people look up at you while you're, you know, busy looking down. Uh, oh no, did we have like another mass shooting today? Good Lord. But yeah, so I think, well, that's interesting. I don't know why that jumps out that she's not there, but I'm taking a look in another place to see if she's there, but I don't suppose she was out there. So, but of course, you know, yeah, I'm looking like at another, well, maybe this is the only photo. Well, the only official photo. But no, I don't think she came out there because she's certainly not going to stand by. Oh, you know what? Okay, I see another photo, and she and her husband are like still in the threshold. They didn't like step all the way out. So she's still in the threshold. She's taking a look, not really trying to be noticed. So there you go. Okay. All right. So I see the Ford Escape is smiling. All right. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here so I can open up the screen to see what you guys are seeing. That is always helpful. All right, got it, got it, got it, got it. All right, so let's continue, shall we? Well, there it is, the Star of Africa. They would like to have that back. You know, it was kind of late, but eventually they did get around to people protesting, you know, going to people on the street in Africa, well, I'm sorry, in South Africa, and asking for their diamond back. What is it? The Cullinan diamond, the largest clear cut diamond in the world. Now, you guys, that whole fuss about Charles not wearing those knee-high stockings, right, and those pedal pushers. I shouldn't wonder why he didn't just go ahead and wear them. Charles looks like a big, fat, sloppy mess. He does. He looks thrown together. I'm sure that everything he cost, I'm sure that everything he wears probably cost more than it took to raise me. I mean, down to the buckles on his shoes. I'm sure that was more costly than whatever my parents spent to raise me. However, he looks like a big mess. That looks like a costume. And I think that bright purple is what really does it in. It's shapeless, formless. It's riding on top of those childbearing hips of his. It does nothing to give him any type of form. Speaking of shapeless and formless mound of flesh, take a look to the side at his wife, who looks equally, you know, I've seen those like those bras that they have that will kind of pull your shoulders back. Why does Camilla look like the hanger is still in her cape or whatever she's wearing? That cloak. It looks like she forgot to take the hanger out. It's like if she turns around, I expect to see a big wooden hanger. I don't know why. I'm just saying it looks like she still has the hanger inside the garment. Whoever dressed her must have been friends with Angela Kelly and decided to get even with her. But yeah, she looks a mess. She looks. They both look. They look sloppy. You would just expect that someone would come in and give them something with more shape to them. But okay, I know it's probably an exhausting period for them. And of course, poor Camilla looking over her shoulder repeatedly, trying to figure out how in the world did I get here. Well, we know how, but yeah, I'm just like underwhelmed by the sight of it. I am very underwhelmed by the sight of it. There are so many people in their 70s that are so much more fit, if you understand what I'm saying. Um, but you know, that's they're who they are. So I'm not trying to be hypercritical, but I'm just it looks like a costume. It looks costumey. I think that Ophel did a good job with her dress. I'm looking at the bottom, I'm looking at the split, but the problem is you go through all that trouble and then she puts it on and then every effort that you made has gone right out the window. So um and when you Biden is older, you guys Joe Biden is older than Charles. You guys know that, right? Joe Biden has at least 6 years on him. And Joe Biden seems to that's why when people say Joe Biden is too old and all that stuff they say about Joe Biden, there's a lot of people half his age that doesn't look as their posture is not as great as his. So Joe Biden has amazing posture for someone 80 years old. Because when you look at these two big sloppy messes right there on the screen, in comparison to the 80-year-old president of the United States, you understand what I'm saying. So I'm just saying it. I'm just saying there seems to be a bit of a difference between 80-year-old Joe Biden and 74-year-old big childbearing, hip, puffy hand, sloppy mess Charles. He looks like a big sloppy mess. But it's no big deal. I'm just like this guy can afford the best of everything. He can afford the best of everything. Why does he look like a big sloppy mess? That's all I'm saying. It's not like he wants for anything. But yet it just okay, you guys. I'm not gonna go end on him. End that. I'm sorry on him right now. But I'm gonna do like a little comparison for you so you guys can see what I mean. Uh okay. This works. I'm going to do a little comparison. The 80-year-old man compared to someone 6 years his junior. And oh, not that one. Let me see here. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I can't believe I'm doing this on his inauguration day, but I mean, what am I saying inauguration day? You know what I mean. I'm thinking about Joe Biden, but yeah, I mean, compared to him, Uncle Joe is a fashion plate. You know what I'm saying? Joe still got it. Joe is like, okay, okay, I think I got it. Oh, okay, let me throw this one more in here for shade. Let me just throw this one more in here for shade, and then you'll see what I'm saying. So let me go ahead and grab that since I'm being shady right now. Wow, 1,170 people in here already. That is spectacular. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. Look at what I'm talking about. Look at Joe Biden. Look at Joe Biden. Look. I mean, he still got it. Take a look. Even with his hands in his pocket, he doesn't look peculiar like Charles. He's 80, you guys. 80. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that little extra shade I threw in there? Dark Brandon. Jacqueline Squash. Good evening, Baron, moderators, and Squatty family. We thank our God for the things He is doing for the Sussex family and Mom Doria. We also thank God Almighty for the healing of Church Nellie. And I'm going to throw in there my good friend Jerry White. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex. Okay. So, yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying Uncle Joe still got it compared to Charles, who seems to be sliding into the abyss. I know it's like a little petty comparison. Oh, Nubian Queen says, thank you for the tremendous work and support to the Sussexes. You are a force to reckon with, Baron. Mo, blessings to you and everyone. Thank you so much, Nubian Queen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate those words. And I'm glad to be here. Kathy A., thank you for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Hey, Sheila Watson. Okay. Oh, Daisy. Camilla was anointed, signed the book, and was crowned. Why do I have this sneaking suspicion that she's not going out easily if Charles dies before her? But it'll be the end of the monarchy, I hope. You know, you guys, let me just say this. What is her name? Catherine the Great, the real Catherine the Great, not the poser in the Windsor family. She wasn't supposed to be Tsarina of Russia, but she conspired to rid Russia of her husband, and she took over the role of Tsar herself. She was not born of the blood, although she did come from an aristocratic German family, I think. But yeah, Catherine the Great was a mother, and she took numerous lovers. She was quite a tenacious czar, and she made some decisions that if it was a man, you would think that that was something admirable. But for a woman, of course, they tried to make her this big villain. But for the most part, she was very well respected. I'm not saying she was a good person. I'm just saying she was very well respected. So the idea that it's impossible for a woman to seize power, well, time will tell. It's not likely to happen, of course, because given, how things are. But I'm just saying it has been done before. So anyway, thank you so much for the super sticker, a super chat, and thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it is not out of the question, that's for sure. Okay, Montecito Express. I'm calling this the Montecito Express. Love a good cold shot of orange juice. Harry has made good his exit from, I love when people say Salt Island. As in, there's so much sodium, there's so much salt that nothing grows. Everything withers. Yeah, Joe Biden is not a big friend of the UK, and he tries to hide his contempt, but he I think he gets it from his mother. He's polite, but I think he tries to hide his contempt. And I'm sure not for English people in general, it's just for the government. Not to mention the fact he was one of the people that advised against the Brexit. So you throw that in there. But his mother was so anti uh, royal that I'm pretty sure that the MI6 kept an eye on her. Hello, Dorothy Ross. Oh, yeah. Hello, Dorothy Ross. I said on here earlier, I repeat, I was jumping with anger when I saw Andrew all dressed up and has never done any work in the forces. And our guy has to go up the aisle wearing a suit and medals. Thank you for the hugs, by the way, Dorothy Ross. Yeah, it does defy logic, and I tell you, I hope that if there is an undoing for that institution, that whenever the offenses are read out, whenever they want them to be accountable for their offenses, the abuse that they have thrown at Harry, um, for years now, not just married life, but all of the abuse, round it all together, and make that one of the reasons why that institution does not deserve to exist. Thank you for your comment. Let's see. Black Queen says, Baron, is Mo Shannon okay? Haven't seen her in here in a few. I believe so. Yes, I spoke to her a couple of days ago, and she's just been laying low because she has some things going on. But other than that, yes, she is quite well. But I will tell her that you asked about her for sure. All right. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the super sticker. Okay, let me go here. So, Harry smiled. He looks relaxed, confident, and quite sure of himself, even though he has the what's her name, Princess Michael of Kent behind him, which there's another photo of her, and you guys. Well, anyway, I'll wait until I get to the photo, but it was just something that kind of jumped out at me. But I promise you, the older she gets, the more she's starting to look like Wayland Flowers and Madam. Let's see. Kim says, Baron, my 14-year-old thinks you're hilarious. He loves your laugh. He also asked if they could just vote King Charles out. Sadly, I said probably not. Um, unless there's a referendum, unless there was a referendum, which I do believe that if there was ever a referendum put to the vote, and if there was a certain mood in the country, I mean, that is how they got rid of the Greek monarchy, was through a referendum. And they would not allow the king of Greece to return to Greece to petition or to campaign to keep his position. So it is not impossible because something happened today. Something happened that I think is going to change things. They really do believe that by throwing around 1,000 years, the royal family has been this institution has been around for 1,000 years. They believe that if they keep throwing that 1,000 years around, that is going to sustain them. Well, that's what everybody believed. That's what the Romans believed. That is what the Greeks believed, and that's what the Egyptians believed again and again as one dynasty after the other collapsed. That's what everybody believes, is that time is on your side. Well, the truth is it's not. And this type of vulgarity of opulence and conspicuous consumption that the royal family has today is something that's only about I'm going to say 300 years old. I would say it goes back to what the Hanoverians, what's that, like 250, 300 years old? You can go back to when the Hanoverians showed up, and that was when they could not spend money fast enough. So this is actually kind of modern, the way that they're blowing through cash. So, yes, it is possible for them to be removed by a referendum if there was ever a referendum that was, tabled for people to vote for. I would say yes, not impossible. Thank you, Kim, for the super sticker. And to your 14-year-old, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Saturday to you both. Okay, but that is my best guesstimate. Is it is not impossible. Eva, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, let's see. Hi, Baron and Squatties. I'm sipping my coffee with you and saying Camilla's. She's wears a girl. Spit out. Until we know better, it's either a hanger or a 2x4, but there's something, maybe there's some kind of device that holds her up. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. But there's something like running up her spine and into the shoulders of that dress, and I just haven't sorted it out yet. But and I did notice that during the service, she kept looking like she was going to slide out the chair. It's like she had a few problems: a hanger in the back of her dress, the struggle to keep her knees together, and of course, it seems like with that satin or silk or whatever it was, I kept expecting her to just, whoop, slide right out to the floor. I was like feeling anxious for her because I thought she was going to slide out that chair a couple of times. So there was a few, and then of course, she could not seem to sit there and breathe with her mouth closed. So she sat through most of the ceremony with that big gaping space under her nose and above her chin. That was kind of distracting. So I tell you, um, she took a otherwise, the Kentucky Derby winner has been announced. Let me see if any of the relatives of our newly minted queen consort, let's see if any of her people won. Okay. What is that? MAGE. What is that? Mage? Is that Mage wins the Kentucky Derby? Is there any family resemblance? I can't tell yet. Okay, there's no photo for that. But wow, isn't that something? Well, I tell you what, Peter has nothing to complain about today. They're crowning them in Kentucky. They crowning them in London. They're crowning them all over the place. All right. Oh man. Okay, they're letting the other royals know by the treatment of Prince Harry that marrying a black person is the worst crime you can commit compared to Andrew. So where's the diversity? Yeah, they kept talking about diversity, diversity. Oh, by the way, thank you so much. Let me see here. Okay, I just got a PayPal. Thank you very much. And that is from RMME. Yes. All right. Thank you so much for the PayPal. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. But yeah, I could, I don't know. Sometimes my imagination gets carried away because the only other thing that I ever like watched on television that caused me that much anxiety, you know how when they have the funeral for the Pope and they have him on that, piece of wood and it looks like he's going to just slide right off the end of the table. Well, I'm not saying that, Camilla is a big stiff or she looks like a stiff. Although there seems to be very little daylight, but I just kept thinking she was going to slide out that chair. Maybe denim. Maybe next time they should try a denim outfit because denim ain't as slippery. Iris Demonia, Queen Seabiscuit was anointed with more. Yes, they use some of that castor oil or that what's one of the other ones? Okay, every time I try to say this, it always sounds like a disease. Is it STP? Oh, I got it right that time. STP. Right. Okay. Because every time I try to say it, it sounds like somebody needs to get penicillin out. So it's SPT oil. Okay. Phew, I struggle with that. All right. Thank you so much, Iris. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right. So here we go. Now, if I'm correct, I believe that the vehicle that Harry used is an electric BMW. Those new BMWs got those kind of odd, almost octagon looking double kidney grills. So I think it is a BMW, and I believe, well, I know it's a BMW, but I believe it's electric. I believe it's electric. So maybe that's his conscious for the environment. If it's not an electric, it may at the very least be an hybrid. So, and you know what? I think I just figured it out. Look at what Harry has in his hand. Look at what he has in his hand. Now, maybe, just maybe, he helped Camilla out by removing that hanger for her. Maybe he helped her out. Maybe he had the spirit of generosity, amen, and he helped her by taking that hanger out of the back of that dress. Maybe. I'm not, sure about that, but maybe. But yeah, also, you guys, there is another view of it that, as you can see, is a BMW, Bavarian Motor Works, or as we say in my neighborhood, BMW, Black Man's Wheels. So in Germany, it's Bavarian Motor Works, and in my neighborhood is Black Man's Wheels. Anyway, it's a BMW. And as you can see, there is a police escort, and the vehicle is followed by another one of those Royal Range Rovers, Royal Protection Officer Range Rovers. So, at least for this event, and you know what, guys, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you I was not expecting anything dramatic to happen today, even with the protests. If there's anything that the Met Police actually get right, that is crowd control. Now, today, I believe they overstepped the mark by arresting people before they even had a chance to be able to peacefully protest. But that is one thing that they get right. There's certain big cities where crowd control is done very well. And I'm going to just say, for the Met Police, that one they get it right more often than they ever have gotten it wrong. But they have made mistakes for sure. So there you go. There's Harry being saluted by the soldiers. And also, he's walking through the Westminster Abbey. And as I told you guys earlier today, uh, black man working. Okay. As you can see, the people sitting in the church, look at the floor. Look at the floor. Westminster Abbey is like a big cemetery. Somebody look up the number, but I've heard one time that there's about, I don't know, 2,000 people buried inside of that church. Buried inside of that church. Some of those pavement stones are gravestones. And if you look at it, the brass and the stone and the names have all been worn away. So is I tell you, if it was like the a night at the what is that museum movie where everything comes alive, I would hate to be in that place. But it is a very creepy place. But a lot of those old cathedrals in Europe are like cemeteries. So Yeah, very creepy, Manello. Very creepy. Every place you turn. But not every stone means that somebody is buried there. Sometimes the stone is just to recognize a person. Let me see. Okay. And then right here. Now, I thought this was 3,000 people. 3,000? Let's go back a second. 3,000 people. Good Lord. I thought it was 2,000, but 3,000 people? Okay, thank you so much, Iris. I believe it. I believe it. I mean, since 1066, that's been plenty time to bury people there. Okay. And let's go back here. But yeah, I thought this was very, very touching. Now that is Beatrice's husband, right? Anyway, that's Beatrice's husband, and I forget his name, but he's Italian, right? His name is, I think it's Monopoly. So Jack Brooksbank is the bartender, and what's his name? That's I don't. It's Monopoly. I think it's Monopoly. So she's married to the Monopoly man, and the other one is married to the bartender. So and that's why I think that Jack Brooksbank always looks so anxious. I bet you a lot of times when he's on those occasions for the royal family, how many times you think he jumped up and started serving drinks to people? You know what I mean? Force a habit. Force a habit. Oh, is he? So he's Count Monopoly. All right. Okay. Oh, Eduardo. Is that right? What is? How do you say that? Eduardo. Eduardo. Okay, but that's Italian, right? Eduardo Monopoly. Very cool. All right, now. Oh, I see those. I see those. What is that? What does she have on her feet? Those are weird, right? Look at what's her name's feet. Where is the heel of her shoe? Where is the heel of his shoe? That is so weird. Oh, well. Okay. So here's another view. You can see the conversation continued with Monopoly, and Harry is looking just, what's that? Who that's his last name? Maposi. Maposi. Eduardo Maposi. Okay. It's Mapelli. Mapelli Mosey. You say Mapelli, I say Mamosi. You say Monopoly, I say Maposi. Monopoly, Maposi, Mapelli, You say bartender, and I say bartender. Oh man. Mapoli, Mapelli, Mazzoli, Mazzelli. Let's call the whole thing off. I don't care what y'all say. That is the bartender and the Monopoly man. The bartender and the Monopoly man. All I know is he has great hair and he's being nice to Harry, and that's all I care about. So, wait. Oh, you know what? Look at that middle picture. Look at that middle picture. I don't know why I thought that those two priests back there were kissing. I had to I had to take another look. I thought they were making out. That is so weird. That looks like it does kind of look like at a glance it looks like they were kissing, right? Okay. Just a little optical illusion, I'm sure. But right there, Tailoring fit for royalty, Dior is honored to have dressed Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, for the coronation of King Charles III in a custom design by Kim Jones. Seen arriving at Westminster Abbey, gain an insight into the savoir-faire of his three-piece suit next. Right. That's French. Savoir-faire. Savoir-faire is everywhere. So yes, that is Harry rocking the Dior label again. He is too a bartender. Who said he's a bartender? He's a bartender. Look it up. I am certain that he's a bartender. I am more than certain that she married a bartender, which is very convenient because trust me, there's a lot of people in that family that loves to drink. So I say that's a good match. If you really want to make an impression on people in that family, marry the bartender. Uh, oh, y'all play too much. I'm telling you, that's the bartender. Y'all don't want to believe me. You can look it up if you want to. Let me see a couple of these comments. Yeah, he does look very handsome, right? Thank you, Charlene Bates. Nothing, just some orange juice. That's it. Just some orange juice. No vodka or gin or anything like that. Just a little orange juice. Okay. Uh-oh. Dorothy Ross is going to bed. Have a good night, Dorothy. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. And happy Saturday to you. Many happy returns of the day. Happy Archie's birthday. I probably didn't get enough sleep. Oh my goodness. You know that they took the video down from earlier because of the copyright, which is good because that last hour do you guys know I was sitting here dozing off? I was dozing off. And I don't know if you guys noticed it, but a couple of times I would raise my head up and I would say, things that had nothing to do with the coronation. And I do recall one time I raised my head up and say, yeah, because it's hot. And the hard part was to try to play it off like I really meant to say something else. I said, yeah, because it gets hot. And I don't know what I must have been dreaming or something, but I was so out of it. I mean, every time I stopped talking, my eyes closed, and then I would pop back up and say something that had nothing to do with the coronation. And the only thing I remember that I said, although I do remember I said some things that didn't make sense, and I don't know if you guys had noticed or not, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. If they don't notice, I'm not going to say anything. But out of the blue, I just say, yeah, because it gets hot. Oh my God, that was so funny. But yeah, I was punchy as could be. So oh, my sinuses, and it was raining this morning, which did not help my sinuses at all. Yeah, and I did not sleep enough. I did not sleep enough. Let me see. We were all tired and half asleep, and yeah. And then here comes that big sloppy mess with that cloak, and oh man. But I am actually going to have to go back and watch it because I do want to see some of the things that I missed. But yeah, I was like in another world. I was good at first, and then after a while, I just started drifting. Okay, so the People's Princess, not my king, the People's Princess. So there were a few people out there that had signs to celebrate our Duchess. And I didn't see anything for Diana, but I heard that there were some images out there, but I didn't see any of them. But yeah, so, good, good. It was not a big turnout, you guys. I don't know if they are going to have the courage to try to boast about numbers, but even with the rain and everything, are you guys still trying to stick up for him? Jack Brooksbank started as a bartender, but he is currently working in marketing in Portugal. So let me get this straight, Celia Nelson. It's not that I don't believe you, but let's say that if you work in a bar, that is a point of sales, right? Which is a retail situation. And if you work in a retail situation, that means you're trying to sell stuff, right? And if you're trying to sell things, you really have to market the product. And if you really want people to buy certain beverages from certain vendors or distributors that happens to have an alcohol base to it, and you are the person that is selling that product, right? You're the person that is selling said product. What does that make you? A bartender. He's a bartender, a bartender. There's no shame in what he does. I'm sure he's very good at being a bartender. I mean, he must be good. He married into the royal family. He must be good. He married into the royal family, and there's a bunch of drunks in that family. I mean, to tell you, they drink so much in that family. Their faces all drawed up, their hands are puffy, and their faces get puffy and red. Tell me, and yeah, they like alcohol in the royal family. He fit right in. That's why they was glad to have him. So this way, they don't have to keep paying for people to stick around. They can get him to do it for free. So anyway, Acelia, I hate to burst your bubble, but Jack Brooksbank is a bartender. That's where he started. That's where he's going to finish. A bartender. So, anyway, I'm so glad that I had a chance to settle this because you guys keep trying to tell me that that guy's name is not Monopoly, and we all know his name is Monopoly. And Jack Brooksbank is a bartender that married into the royal family. And after all, wasn't there a guy in the game of Monopoly? Wasn't there a guy that had a top hat? Right? Wasn't one of the Monopoly pieces a top hat? Well, of course, if you think count, you always think tuxedo. You think tuxedo with tails. And what kind of hat do you wear with a tuxedo and tails? A top hat. So the count is named Monopoly, and Jack Brooksbank is a bartender. You guys just don't see what's in front of you. I see everything. That's my gift. So, oh, you did. That's lovely. Anyway, Acelia, thank you so much for the comment, and thank you for trying to help Jack Brooksbanks, the bartender. Okay. Oh, take a look here. They can't even pretend not to hate each other for like 5 minutes with the cameras on them. Look, look, look. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. What led to this? How did this happen? Yeah, yeah. Now, I tried to upload a video. I'm not sure how successful it was, but I'm going to try it anyway. Uh, Let me see here. Oh Lord. Let me see if I can make this work. Oh, it should. Wait, nope. Okay.
But they're having a bit of discussion here. I am wondering whether Prince and Princess of Wales' arms, they were due to arrive before the King and Queen, but maybe they took a different entrance.
So Charles is having a fit. And they said that one of the reasons why Charles seemed to be a bit agitated is because the Prince and Princess of Wales were running late. They were running late. I don't know why they were running late. Now, I could only imagine that it was William's idea to include all three children, but I'm not going to blame the children because the children are the children and the parents are the parents. And if you think that you may have the least bit of trouble, or should I say, a spot of bother, then maybe you should have slept at the Buckingham Palace. After all, there's almost 780 rooms in that house, right? And God knows how, I think, what is it, over 50 bedrooms. You could have just stayed there so that you would be up and ready to go, right? Right. But instead, somehow they were running late. They were running late. And Charles was hot. Charles was so hot that I'm pretty sure he turned to see if Jax Brooksbank was there with a drink. That's how hot he was. So, yeah, they could not even pretend for 5 minutes. And thank you to the squatty that posted this, but they could not pretend for 5 minutes that they were happily married to one another. That is amazing. Yeah, Charles was incandescent with rage. Let me see. I know she asked him allegedly where. Thank you, Nancy Herlock. Woo! Let me see. Right? Thank you, Rhonda Bryant. You guys, I can see this so much better. I don't know why I didn't use the bubble. See how I changed that from the other way that I would put the comments up? I hate that it takes up so much of the screen because I'm a very visual person, but it's so much easier on my eyes. Let me see if I can do this without my reading glasses. Okay, yeah, we better not do that. Let me see. Let's see. Lilo Haskins says maybe Kate ambushed him with the idea and the camera, but once again, trying to copy the Sussexes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Now, right here, if I was Charles, I would be terrified. I'm going to tell you why. Could you imagine how much damage William could do if he had tried to headbutt somebody? If William would have headbutted Charles in that moment, do you know they could probably just have a coronation for William on the same day as soon as the morticians drove off? They could have had another coronation. I would be terrified to be that close to William because if he headbutts you, you are going to go limp. Trust me when I say this, you are going to go completely limp. Could you imagine William, especially if he had a good running start? He'd destroy you. He would destroy you. I would be terrified to be headbutted by him. What a massive you never appreciate how large it is until you see it like that. Until he tilts his head forward. That's frightening. And then, of course, he always looks so deranged. So, yep, I would not challenge him if I was in a position like that. What Charles must be thinking, like, wow, one headbutt and he could change the whole path of history. The whole trajectory of history could change. And let's say he didn't do it on purpose. Let's say he just tripped on his way up to the throne and accidentally headbutt his father. It would destroy him. He would, as if nothing else, he would probably be left unable to speak or even communicate after that. What a massive head he has. Good God. Oh, okay. So take a look here. Dr. Charlotte Proudman says, spot the difference? Not really. Can you spot the difference? Well, I'll tell you. The one on the left is the United Kingdom, and the one on the right is the Republic of South Africa, or I'm sorry, what am I saying? The Republic of North Korea, not South Africa. Why did I say South Africa? It's North Korea. That is what it is, North Korea. And yes, there is very little daylight. As a matter of fact, that did they not use those children to try to block the "Not My King" people the other day? Yeah, very little daylight. So, and yes, yes, the aunties and the uncles. Okay, let me just say this. Everybody looks beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. There's not one single outfit that I would say, nope, nope. Everybody looks good. They look amazing. They look so angelic and so beautiful. And I'm very, very proud of their performance. They sounded good. As a matter of fact, the music, I would say all of the music for the coronation was amazing. All of it. If nothing else, I mean it's a shame that you had Charles and Camilla to visually destroy a otherwise lovely ceremony. I mean, Charles and Camilla are an assault on the senses. They really are, because they look like a couple of big sloppy messes. Um, I'm I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be cruel, but they look a mess. So having the two of them to try to they look a mess. They are an assault on the senses. Um yeah. So now I was let me see if I have that. I wanted to play something for you guys, but I don't have a slide for it. But you know what? I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I I think I am going. Well, yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow because I want to make sure that I have it in the proper context. Yes, a big sloppy mess. They look sloppy and slouchy, and you know, like I said, Joe Biden is 80 years old, right? And there he stands straight. He looks healthy. And even though everybody talks about how old he is, and then you compare that to where are they? Where are they? Look at that. Spot the difference? Charles looks like he's trying to hold on to those big childbearing hips of his. And then Camilla with that A cut that she's always wearing. I mean, they go from bad to worse. And look at Camilla's outfit. Who wears that in the 21st century? Who wears something like that in the 21st century? Nobody. That looks like something that you wear if you work at an inn and you heard some tales of someone called Robin Hood was in the area, right? That's what it looks. She looks like an innkeeper that's afraid of Robin Hood. So yeah, it's. Let me get that off the screen. but they look so sloppy. Okay. They really need to get some clothes that has structure. As much as they pay for those clothes, they really ought to have more structure. I think Harry might have to send that hanger back because yes, they look sloppy. They do. Anyway, I'm very proud of them. They were amazing. And take a look here. I guess it must be a thing for the alleged side pieces that you try to mimic. You try to mimic the competition. So you can see the revenge dress. So I guess Camilla decided, oh, you know what? I can do that too. And then, of course, there is the Aquazzura pumps, which, of course, has a little bow in the back. Well, as you see, Camilla tried to do a copycat, and the original copycat of this generation, Kate Middleton, decided that she would channel the Duchess of Sussex. And then, of course, Rose said, well, I'm going to channel you channeling the Duchess of Sussex. So there you go. And then, of course, here's another image of Rose. Not sure what she has on, but oh yeah, that is just a little. I think she was going for like a very ancient look, right? It does look like she's trying to channel the days of yore, not mine, your. Come on, Auntie. Come on, Auntie. Look at Auntie. You better work, Auntie. You are causing it. Auntie is the moment. I'm here to tell you. Auntie is the moment. She did not leave anything out. She did not take anything for granted. Yeah, I approve. I approve. It's daring. It's layers. It has a lot of texture to it. I love it. I love it. Auntie was not playing with y'all. Y'all trying to play with her, but she's not playing with you. Auntie said, I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I will have that. Okay? Don't mess with Auntie, because Auntie is going to look just as regal, just as well appointed as anybody else in the room, if not better. So that is that. I love it. I love it. Come on, Auntie. And she knows she looks good. She knows she looks good. Look at that gorgeous face. She knows that she's causing it. So come on, Auntie. Come on, Auntie. Won't Auntie do it? Won't Auntie do it? Okay. And this person right here, the most hilarious part of the coronation, Liz Truss made Penny Mordaunt Lord President of the Council to keep her out of the spotlight. She has spent most of the day carrying a giant sword in front of millions, so that turned out well. That's a little bit of sarcasm, huh? If this is what you call keeping her out of the limelight, I would hate to see what it looks like if you were trying to deliberately push her out on the world stage. The outfit that she wore, the outfit that she wore, has a lot of classic elements. You can see the laurel wreath like design in the headband that she's wearing. Around the collar is kind of like a mock tunic. And she even managed to show a little cleavage. Yes, she showed just a hint of cleavage. So there was one comment that I wrote that said, once she returns the sword, then she could go back to the lake and disappear. She does kind of look like some mythical figure from, like, I don't know, the Norwegian pagan tribes or something. Yeah, she seems like some type of pagan tribe woman, but it's a good look. She looks very beautiful, and I like what she's wearing. It's kind of Mother of the Bride, but in a very regal way. So I don't know who Auntie was. I don't know who she was. This lady, I don't know. I don't know, but she's causing it. She's causing it. Okay. Let me see here. And this is Scotland. Yes, Scotland. You can see the castle. I forget what they call that castle in Scotland, but there's a gigantic rock in the middle of Edinburgh. There's a giant rock, and that volcanic rock has been there for probably a million years. And atop that rock, they built a castle, an ancient fortification, which includes the Scottish crown jewels. Well, as you could see, they spent all that money to make sure that the people in Edinburgh had a chance to join together as a community and watch the coronation. As you can see, it was not exactly standing room only. As a matter of fact, you can pretty much drive a truck through there and you wouldn't touch anybody. So there you have it. That was money well spent, as I say sarcastically with an air of disdain in my voice. Yes, money well spent. Let me see here. I'm sorry, my sinuses are just kicking up for no good reason. And this is also Scotland. There were huge protests in Scotland today, as they had promised that May the 6th they were going to have a independent Scotland protest, and that's exactly what happened today. They wanted to free Scotland from the Westminster, the Palace of Westminster. And the Scottish people, they don't have it in for English people. Most of them do not like the policies that come from the South, and they just don't, they want their independence. And when it comes to the Brexit, most people in Scotland voted to stay. They wanted to remain, whereas people in the UK, well, not the UK, I'm saying it's all the UK, but the people in England wanted to leave, right? Except for London. London and all of Scotland unanimously wanted to stay in the European Union. But the small town voters, right? Small town voters, and of course, a majority of people in Wales wanted to leave the European Union. And since that time, there has been a movement uh, in Scotland again to leave. And of course, there's a lot of Welsh people who feel done in by the policies of Westminster. So there you have it. And of course, I just figured I would throw something different in there. I was just going through looking for some material for today, and Alexei Ohanin, this Saturday, I decided to really dig into Mid Journey 5.1. And wow, this has already come a long way in just 6 months. This was my first try with Serena as Wonder Woman. So I think he's launching a phone app. I'm not sure. And then after he did Serena, he decided to do one for himself. So let me show you what he did. This is Serena Williams as Wonder Woman. And I guess he used an app or something, whatever he was speaking of, that was the image that came up. And there, now listen, if you have a man, if your partner envisions you um, like this, keep them, keep them. If this is their fantasy of you, you had better keep your partner because, you know, um, well, that's how he sees her. I don't know how he did it or what type of app or computer program he used. Yeah, AI is all over the place, isn't it? Might be looking into the AI craze. Yeah, I haven't did an AI for myself yet, but I think I will. Maybe I'll change my profile pic. I do the AI. Hello, Kim. Kim says we are Premier League football watchers in this house, and during the Liverpool match today, they booed the national anthem in protest, but they often boo it. Yes, Liverpool. That is where Prince William ran into a spot of bother when he was booed out of there. You know what? I forgot to do slides for Liverpool. I forgot. I knew it was something I meant to do. I forgot to do some slides for Liverpool. Thank you for reminding me. I'll do that tomorrow, I guess. And take a look here. That's how he sees himself. This is how Alexei sees himself. And this is how he sees his wife. Yeah, thanks to AI. So that is Serena and Alexei. He's having fun today. Yes, they also say that Liverpool has a lot of Irish people, like Paul McCartney. I think that's an Irish name, right? And he's from Liverpool. And so, historically, because a lot of Irish people ended up in Liverpool, uh, they were felt like they were being disrespected by the government. And then, of course, wasn't there that stadium collapse that they had? They blamed the government for lack of safety or something like that. And also, didn't Liverpool suffer from the economic plans of Margaret Thatcher? So with Liverpool, it seems to be like one offense after the other when it comes to the um, the treatment from the government, disrespect from the government. So yeah, they are not big fans of Westminster and not big fans of the royal family. Liverpool is a pretty interesting city, though. If you get a chance to visit, I say do it. Liverpool and Manchester, very beautiful cities. All right, so Prince Andrew booed by crowds as royal arrives at I was about to say coronation in full regalia despite being stripped of his patronages. So again, you have the image of Harry rocking that morning suit, and then there's Andrew, the sick old man, walking around in full regal regalia as though he's got something to be proud of. And he was booed. He was booed. I mean, roundly booed by the crowd. And this is LBC that posted this story. I repeat, LBC posted this story. So it's not like it's a left leaning, it's LBC. They're the ones that posted that. So very interesting. And then right here, doesn't it always happen? You get enough military people in one place, and eventually somebody is going to eat the pavement or eat dirt. And that happened today. Just suddenly and abruptly, he face planted right into the grass. And then, of course, the other soldiers did not break rank. They sent a couple of soldiers in fatigues to lift him up and drag him away. So, not unusual for that to happen. It even happened one day at the cenotaph. They said some woman face planted right there in the street. And as you can see, none of the other soldiers broke rank to help her. They sent a couple of other people that stand by for just such an event. and they don't, stop anything. They don't ask you, "Are you okay?" They just scoop you up and they drag you away. Now, when that happened, and they said some woman collapsed at the cenotaph, the first thing I thought was, Edward, 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 are you okay? I thought it was Edward. I mean, I see a maxi coat, I see a woman, I see someone has face planted. I thought perhaps it was Edward. I was so worried for her, or him, or they. I was so worried for him, her, they. The non binary prince was not the one that collapsed that day. As you can see, he was able to execute his, her, them, they's duty wearing that long maxi coat. And I guess that should have been the first thing that I noticed, is that the coat wasn't all the way down to the floor. If the coat was longer, and it's so weird. I mean, look at these people. There is nobody that has that coat. It is unique to Edwina. Nobody else. That's called the Edwina cut. Rambelina Edwina cut. Nobody else has that cut of fabric except for Andrew. Not Andrew, Edward. I don't know why I was confused those two. Edward, Edwina. So yeah, that happens. You get enough people in military uniform together, and somebody is going to collapse. And someone pointed out today, the last royal mistress to become queen was Anne Boleyn. Well, because I'm reasonably sure that Camilla was actually a classmate of Anne Boleyn. You know what I'm saying? No wonder. Camilla and Anne Boleyn actually went to school together. So, although Anne is like about a year older, but Anne Boleyn and Camilla actually are classmates. So, is it any wonder that she someday herself might get the notion to try to seize power? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You can learn a lot from the ancient world. All right, so this was from yesterday. It may be the coronation tomorrow, but the Express is still waging its perpetual battle to vilify Harry and Meghan every chance it gets, while throwing in the occasional adultery article just in case its readers weren't gaslit enough. So, I'm sorry, what is it? Adulator, not adultery. I cannot say that word. Adulate. Oh, I think it's adulation, right? Adulatory. Oh, I just did it. Not adultery, adulatory article. So shut up and get in line, Harry. Tomorrow is all about our new king, says Robert Jobson. That big fat hog that was on TV today, grunting like him. Did you guys hear Robert Jobson on Good Morning America? He was on there, just grunting. Anyway, King Charles is ready to put his own stamp on the royal family. And quite frankly, Prince Harry is the last thing on his mind, writes Robert Jobson. Now, see, Robert Jobson has to write stuff like this so that he can earn his keep. Out of the blue, someone who I think is a reasonably intelligent man says something stupid like this. And then take a look on the right side. This is from Claire Anderson and Adam Chapman. Harry delights lucky travelers as he sneaks into UK for a coronation on a commercial flight. The Duke of Sussex touched down on the UK soil this morning ahead of the King's coronation tomorrow. It has been revealed he arrived with his wife Meghan Markle and their children. Now, both of these stories are from the 5th, right? So the one from Robert Jobson, offensive. The one here on the right side is rather tamed and polite. although it's likely inaccurate, seeing that we didn't see the Sussex children. And if Harry has flown first class, which I'm sure he has, then the people on the plane did not even know that he was there. They don't let kids sit in first class. If Harry travels with the children, it is going to be on a private jet, period. Pam Porter says it's been said that the Hanoverian kings always had a bad relationship with the Prince of Wales, so the antagonism is natural. Thank you so much for that, Pam Porter, and thank you for 3 months of membership. Thank you very much. You know, it's so weird. The comment, I can only see it on the other screen. That's why I have to open up the other screen. I don't see it in the what do you call it? In the StreamYard, which is the app that I use, the program that I use for the live stream. So I never understand why that is. If I didn't have the other screen open, I would have missed it. But thank you so much for that. And thank you for 3 months of membership on Raw. But Pam Porter, weren't you on Patreon before, I think, right? And then you moved over here? Anyway, thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. So right here we go. This was also from yesterday. Revealed Prince Harry jetted into UK for the coronation on a commercial American Airlines flight this morning amid gobsmacked passengers, right? But take a look on the right side. Same day, same trashy paper, Prince Harry landed in the UK. Private jet from California touches down in UK. Well, which is it? Was it private, or was it a commercial flight? Which is it? Was he on a private jet? Or perhaps it was now that's a private jet. But either way, he's there. His family stayed in California. I'm pretty sure of that since he went to the airport by himself. But yeah, same paper, two different stories. And then right here, Harry the outcast. And this is what gets me. They want all this goodwill for the royal family. Harry the outcast. Prince won't be in any of the official photos or at the family lunch or in the procession or on the Buckingham Palace balcony. So what is the point in him even attending? And this article was written by Rebecca English, I think. That was an article by Rebecca English. Of all people, Rebecca English, this is somebody who has known the royal family, who has worked reporting on the royal family for years. And I'm pretty sure she knows Harry or has met him on occasion or whatever. Why would you write something like this? Why would you write a trashy article like this? You want everybody to support that big, sloppy, messy, misshapen, childbearing hip, fat hand in the pocket, wife with a hanger in the back of her dress. You want everybody to support them, but still you write trash like this. This does not inspire unity. This inspires contempt. If you want people to still hold contempt for the royal family, if you want them to continue to be booed, whether domestically and now probably abroad, like they were at the basketball game in Boston, right? Keep it up. Keep it up. Because people are watching. You want everybody to celebrate those two pensioners that you just anointed, even though they are massively like two of the biggest adulterers in history. I mean, when you open up an encyclopedia, if those still exist, and you go to the page for adultery, this is who's going to pop up. They are the most famous adulterers in the world. and you got royal reporters on television, so-called royal experts. Well, theirs is a love story for the ages. You know why they say that? Because that's what they were told to say. Because they were told to go on television and say that this is the love story of the ages. And let's forget all about how we got there, how we started out, and how we got there. Let's forget all about coercing a 96-year-old woman into signing some document deciding that the side piece should not be the queen consort. Oh, nay, that is the queen. Now she has the queen's title, practically the queen. I mean, she's not a sovereign, not yet. But how did that happen? But they want everybody to bend over backwards and celebrate that family while the best and the brightest to come out of that house probably ever, as close, and I'm not saying that he's self-made, but as close as you can get to being a self-made man is Harry. Period. Nobody else from that household has been cut off financially and managed to make a life for themselves, who have had their safety put in jeopardy and made a life for themselves. But you want everybody to celebrate those two big sloppy messes looking like a couple of wet dish rags walking up the street. You want everybody to celebrate them while you're still trashing the only popular one in the family. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Joan Lawman, thank you. Oh, where did that go? I lost you. Oh, here we go. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex, and happy Saturday to you. Oh, you guys, sometimes I look in the comment section, and people that are royalists, sometimes they actually find Royal Sussex. You ought to see some of the comments that they leave. You ought to see some of the I don't know how this channel ended up on my computer. Girl, bye. That's how it ended up on your computer. Girl, bye. Bye, Felicia. That's how. But, they come here looking for one thing. And what do? They tune into Royal Sussex, and all they hear is somebody calling him childbearing hips, puffy hand. You're welcome. Okay. So, here's an update on Miss Pippi Longstockings. As you know, Sharon Osbourne was having a meal out overnight, and well, the guy in the tent with her is actually someone from the Talk TV, JJ, whatever his name is. Well, it's funny because poor JJ, you go to bed and you think that that's Sharon Osbourne. But I tell you, first thing in the morning, Sharon Osbourne looks just like Eamon Holmes. Just like Eamon Holmes. She then took that wig off her hair. And then, of course, she got them, those highly inflated cheekbones and all the work she had done. The only funny thing about this is Sharon Osbourne paid a fortune to look like that. And Eamon Holmes got that totally for free. Isn't that something? At least I guess it's free. I don't suppose he had any work done. But could you imagine you go to bed at night, you're in the tent with Sharon Osbourne, and you think that you have, fallen asleep next to this very strange looking redhead, only to wake up and, Eamon! And you woke up right next to Eamon Holmes. Yes, she's sleeping rough with a black man, just like William. I guess that sleeping rough with a black man like an English thing. is that what every English person pines for, is to sleep rough with a black man? I mean, okay, so for the entree, you have slept rough with a black man, and then what do? You go to Poland for a pulled pork sandwich. I guess that must be an English thing. Anyway, I went to England. Nobody slept with me. So, let me see. Laura says, Camilla, when she was leaving the balcony, she looked like Quasimodo, oh, Quasimodo, with the with that hanger in the back of her jacket, right? Oh, with the cape being on her, and she was walking like an old ashy rice draining bag. Oh Lord. And Shelly L said, "Oh, that's for Black Queen." Okay. Beverly Isidore says Prince William invited his side chick to the coronation, and Kate got vexed, and that's why they allegedly were running late, because the argument between them erupted. I don't think it takes much. I really don't suppose it takes much. Now, you guys, I have already played this video for you, but I think now it is even more poignant than it was the first time. So have a listen. Have a listen.
You don't have to watch it. Go to the beach, do something else. You have a choice. A lot of people are going to enjoy it. And I would just say about Camilla that I sat with Diana in her drawing room and talked about Camilla. And Camilla, in Diana's view, had been loyal, discreet, and deserved some form of recognition. Well, she's going to get it on Saturday. Well, she's going to get it on Saturday. Well, she's going to get it on Saturday. Well, she's going to get it on Saturday.
Well, she's going to get it on Saturday. She deserves recognition, and she's going to get it on Saturday. She certainly did. She certainly did. She went out there with a hanger stuck in the back of her dress. She looked like a big sloppy mess. Yeah, she got it on Saturday. She sure did. She couldn't keep her knees together. She kept sliding out of the chair. if that if that's recognition. Anyway, throw them all in jail immediately. The police have the power to use every force possible now to clear out these lunatics, right? Well, that is what some deranger had posted. Breaking: a security source has told Talk TV that police have intelligence that protesters have come to the mall with glue in a bid to disrupt the King's procession to Westminster Abbey. Now, that may explain why Camilla looked so upset. I tried to post a video. Let me see if it worked. Actually, I'm not sure that did I do that one? Oh Lord, did I? Oh, that is a no. Let me see if I can find that really fast, because it was quite interesting, I tell you, quite interesting. And I think that is a no. Oh man, I think I only bookmarked it. Oh, I did bookmark it. Okay, I tell you what, it's a very short video, so I am going to I'm going to share it with you. Oh, wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. You guys are not going to believe it. Now, I don't suppose it has anything to do with what they just, what I just shared with you, but I promise you, this is rather spooky. Um, okay, okay. So I am going to post that. I'm going to share it with you. Give me just 1 second. Okay, concentrate, think, 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 think. All right. And so I do this. I'm trying to talk myself through this, right? Okay, got it. Done. And okay, incoming, incoming. Wow, that was fast. I'm getting so good at this. I love it. All right. That was fast. Here we go, you guys. Yes, that happened today. That happened today. I do believe that happened today. I don't know if it has anything to do with what they were saying. I don't know how glue is a problem for the horses. I don't understand that. But there's that old saying, you know how sometimes when you see an old broke down horse, you know how when you see a horse that's seen better days and they say, all right, one more time, I'm going to send you to the glue factory. Well, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the horse just lost it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think anybody got hurt. I do not believe anyone got hurt. But still, it is rather shocking to look at. So they haven't, said anything about. You know what? Yeah, that's exactly what someone had wrote as a caption. Did you post that? Because somebody had wrote that as a caption. They said that was a not my king horse. That is so funny, but that was the caption that went with the article that someone posted. Diana Spirit. Oh man. Anyway, sources said that none of the Parker Bowles family was hurt or injured when that horse reared up. So there you go. Not my king. Okay, not my king. So there were protests. There were a lot of people out. Um, they actually stuck to the designated area, most of them. But by the way, there's Princess Diana. You can see Diana now. But they told the Not My King Republic movement to stay segregated by the Trafalgar Square, I think it was. And so they did stay in the area that was designated, but they put a big barrier up so that Charles and Camilla could not see them. As a matter of fact, I do have another video. Let me see here.
The Republic protest in Trafalgar Square. As you will see, police have built a gigantic big barrier right in front of where Republic is standing so that the King and Queen consort will not be able to see the protest as they proceed up the Mall. This is just another example of a way in which dissent is being stifled. And we've already seen today the arrest of the CEO of Republic, Graham Smith. This is not a free country when we do not have the right to freely protest. You don't have to oppose them.
Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry.
People should have the right to protest.
I was experimenting with something. I shouldn't have done that. Let me play that again.
I'm here with a Republic protest in Trafalgar Square. As you will see, police have built a gigantic big barrier right in front of where Republic is standing, so that the King and Queen consort will not be able to see the protest as they proceed up the Mall. This is just another example of a way in which dissent is being stifled. And we've already seen today the arrest of the CEO of Republic, Graham Smith. This is not a free country when we do not have the right to freely protest. You don't have to oppose the monarchy to agree that people should have the right to protest.
Now, I believe this guy's name is Peter Thatchell. But there were still people that had signs out there. There were, as you can see, they're all soaking wet and everything. So that is from today. There were some people who were still able to show up with signage, even though the police tried to prevent it. But the best laid plans, right? You know how they say the best laid plans? So they thought that they were going to be able to block everybody from view. But take a look at this. That is Camilla. That is Charles. That is them on their way to the coronation. And what do you see on the other side of the street? Not my king. Not my king. Not my king. There's 5 of those signs. So they were not able to block them 100%. But they did arrest the head, Graham Smith. They did arrest him and a few other key members of the organization. So they did their best. They did their best to try to stifle the dissent. But still, I think that what they have done, this was a huge mistake, because it's only going to make people more determined to make their voices heard. They should not have done that. That was a huge, huge mistake on their part. Yep, that was a mistake. Iris Demonia says, Baron, I was told the reason why William and Kate had some words, because William told Kate not to wear those plastic flowers, not to wear those Poundland flowers in your hair. That is why she was looking at Rose. Oh, no doubt. You know, it's not cute to wear a centerpiece to such a prestigious occasion as a coronation. One ought not wear a centerpiece. Okay. And right there, Coronation Street, check. Coronation Chicken, check. Coronation of King, and citizen, not a subject. By law, if you are a resident of the United Kingdom, if you are, if you have a passport, if you have a birth certificate from the United Kingdom, you are not a citizen. You are a subject of the king. You are still considered a subject. Now, yes, you are a citizen, but according to the law, you are a subject. How many empty palaces? I'm trying to read that sign. Oh, man. But anyway, and this is this country is ours. Anyway, this is what they were trying to suppress. They did not have the signs, but the the heart of the movement soldiered on. Oh, yes, at the Commonwealth when they were walking in and said, "You'll never be king. You will never be king." Good one, Lydia. Thank you for that. And this is what happened this morning. Before this happened, like probably an hour before the protest, an hour before the procession, they literally confiscated, I don't know how many signs, but they confiscated them. Major breaking. Republicans planning to peacefully protest are being arrested in central London, and materials confiscated. More info as soon as we have it. Now, you know what? You know what? Take a look at that truck. If they were allowed to carry those signs, it would have made it would have been so much more. Let me see. Let me find one of the videos. This one. Oh, by the way, let me see here. There you go. If they would not have taken those signs, there would have been a sea of yellow and black signs. But they stopped them. They literally stopped them from peacefully protesting. The law was written so that they can preempt anything that they want. Now, let me share with you the rationale for this. Let me share the rationale. Okay. This is how they explained it.
What you say? Maybe. Okay.
Possibly. Is there
Today, sorry.
and obviously maybe removed off the footprint?
Sorry, well, what?
If it does escalate and we get told,
What do you mean by escalate?
Can
Can we chant "Not My King"?
I wouldn't advise it. No.
You wouldn't advise it. Why not? Because it's free speech, isn't it? Why can't we chant "Not My
If it
King"?
does escalate,
What do you mean by escalate?
as in like chanting gets louder and louder and it causes a public nuisance.
What do you mean by public nuisance?
Listen, I know what you're trying to do. Just let me.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out where my right of freedom of expression lies today. We are entitled
You may be removed from the footprint.
for chanting "Not My King"
No, if you start causing public nuisance,
by chanting "Not My King."
possibly.
So if we chant "Not My King" on a public street today, we're going to be removed for public nuisance. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Possibly. Is there
Today, sorry.
and obviously maybe removed.
So, as you can see, they decided. This is what's bad about the law, is that it puts the police in a very awkward position where they have to articulate the spirit of the law. Only a judge should have to articulate the meaning of the law, to interpret the law. It should be a pretty simple, cut and dry law for the police on the street. But in this, if the police are given the orders to suppress any type of dissension, even if it's a peaceful protest, the law has just empowered them to assume that you are going to create a public nuisance. So that means if you yell too loud, if you hold up something that is interpreted as offensive by that individual officer, then you are subject to arrest. This is the modern day Britain. This is what they call British exceptionalism, right? This is what so many people like myself never thought I would see in Britain. I have spent a ton of money in the United Kingdom. Do understand that. I spent a lot of money. I did not feel unsafe. I did not feel othered, except for one tiny occasion, which is kind of iffy, but I do think it had something to do with my skin color. The guy was very polite. I told this story before, but he decided to ask me he asked to see the ticket that I had for the train because he saw me walking toward that first class car, and he just wanted to make sure that I was a first class passenger. Now, did he do that with every person? I don't think so, because that didn't happen to me ever. Any place, any country I went to in Europe, I always took trains. I never had that happen except for this one individual in London saw me walking toward that first car and thought for sure I was not supposed to be there. It was yes, sir, no, sir. He was very polite, but that was the extent of anything that felt like it could possibly have been othering of someone who spent a lot of money to be there. And yet, I'm looking at these images on television, on the computer, on the social media, and I'm thinking to myself, is that Britain? Really? Doesn't seem like it, but now it is. They want to stifle any type of dissension. Shelley L says that sign really said Coronation chicken. I wonder if it's a silky chicken. I think along with, if you look at the lettering in the bill that they signed to make it illegal to, be a public nuisance, one of the provisions of the law actually prevents anything that looks like a silky chicken from being consumed or slaughtered, or you understand. So thank you, Shelley L, for the super chat. And Sean says, Baron, how do I send a reel from Instagram? Oh my God, I'm dying right now. It's about the coronation. Well, I don't know how you could do that. There is a way, but I'm not that good with the, where you could post so yeah, I don't know how to do that. That's how I accidentally removed the video earlier. I still need to learn how to use the, they added some new features to the StreamYard, and I'm just not comfortable with them yet. But thank you for the super chat. And I'll probably see it because I'm going to comb the internet some more later. Jael says this kind of thing happens in France too. You're lucky you were lucky in France. Yeah, this is not good. I think it only makes people angrier. And it helps to build up the support. So this is another image. And this is yet another image. Be careful if you're heading into London today to protest the coronation. Absolutely disgraceful scenes from the police this morning, arresting demonstrators and seizing placards from organizers. Whether you're a royalist or a Republican, this should send shivers down your spine. So look at that truck. Look at how many signs they prevented from reaching the streets of London today. Those signs could have elevated the act of peaceful demonstration to a new level. So you got the people, but the signs were stuck in the back of a lorry. Brilliant, right? Brilliant. That is disgraceful. That is disgraceful. I guess it's a good thing for anybody who is against the protest, but they live in a country where freedom of speech is enshrined in the law, isn't it? At least it was before they made that bill into law. Clara Wyndham, thank you so much for becoming a new member of Royal Sussex. Thank you so much for that. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Okay. And then right here, you can see that one cop there. I mean, look at him. You can see him in the distance over there. And then I zoomed in and cropped the photo. His eyes say, I don't like doing this. He knows it's wrong, This one individual police officer, he probably speaks for a lot of officers that do not like being used like this. I think it is a disgrace to put the police, to put soldiers, to put any uniform peacekeeper, to take a uniformed peacekeeper that is supposed to enforce the law, to give them something that is petty and stupid like this to do, because it erodes the trust from the public. It's degrading for the officers to have to enforce laws that just doesn't make sense in an open and free society. And they should be ashamed of themselves, not the officers, but the politicians, but Charles, who signed the law. I don't have a beef with the police officers. It puts them in a very awkward position. Very awkward. And it's not fair. It is not fair to the people who promised to peacefully demonstrate. First, they threatened them by writing the law and then sending the law and telling them we're going to enforce the law. And then they informed the leadership that, oh, you can protest. We're not going to do anything to you. No, it's okay. You could protest. But secretly, they had already decided to confiscate the signs and to arrest the leadership of the movement. 6 people were arrested at this location, and then other people were arrested from Trafalgar Square, including Egg Boy. That's right, Egg Boy was arrested. And there's Graham Smith, the leader of their movement. He's on the ground like a common criminal. He's on the ground like a common criminal because he wanted to peacefully protest the coronation. And there's the other guy right there. You might recognize him from some of the other videos. Again, he wanted to peacefully protest. What a terrible thing. Anti-monarchists received intimidatory Home Office letter on new protest laws. So, like I said, they did send them a letter. Home Office claims timing of new powers taking effect today. Taking effect days before the king's coronation is coincidental. They swear that all of this is a big coincidence. Charles just signed the law. This is a coincidence. This is a coincidence. This is a coincidence. And this is a coincidence. All of that, including the leader of the movement on the ground, like a homeless person, that's a coincidence. Really? Well, you should be glad to know that Graham Smith is out. The Republic 5 is nearly freed. So I'm sorry, it wasn't 6 people. It was 5 people in leadership that was arrested, including Graham Smith, and all of them were freed. The first, I don't have the photo right here, but one of the photos of Graham Smith that I saw, he was literally sitting there with his face in his hands, heartbroken, that with all of the effort that they made to do things right, to stay in contact with the authorities, with the agreement that they would stay restricted to a certain area to peacefully protest, and then like a bunch of jackbooted thugs, they send in the police to confiscate their signs and arrest the leadership. That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. But there is still some humor to be had, like this lady right here. All hail Camilla's tampon. There are still some fun parts of today. Where there's life, there is hope. And where there is Charles and Camilla, there are tampon jokes. So fret not. Fret not, this is a temporary setback for those who feel the need to peacefully protest. This is just a minor setback. This is not the end of a story. And yes, hail Camilla's tampons. All hail Camilla's tampons. Yes, like I said, the English has quite a bit of a wit about themselves. You have to love that English humor. Trigger alert, trigger alert, trigger alert. So there is the Disney villain herself. Every time you see her, she looks more and more like a Disney villain. Every time. Not sometimes, but every time. Either she's laughing uncontrollably or she gives you the death stare. I don't know which is worse. I'm kind of thinking the laughing uncontrollably is worse because that makes me think that she could be armed and dangerous. But here it's just plain death stare. But yeah, so, but let me tell you, this is just a split second in time. Because just before that, take a look at William. Take a look at William. His father is about to be crowned as the king. And he and his wife are doing the most. They are still doing the most. You would imagine that there would be a certain level of reverence for an occasion like this. They are openly arguing inside of the carriage, right? In front of the cameras, they're arguing. And then, of course, they were late, causing his father to have yet another meltdown. And then, of course, the body language between the two of them is like, I don't want to say, it's not like they're at a funeral. It's not like it's like they're in divorce court. It's like a couple of people headed to divorce court. That's how they act toward one another. That's their body language. That is their set point, is a rather frigid hostility that is hard to ignore. But this is Kate. This is Kate without, here the makeup is rather theatrical, right? I mean, they pulled, they yanked, they pumped, they plumped, they did everything they could to get this look. But this is the real Kate. That's the real Kate. The real Kate is just barely containing her hostility, barely containing it. That's the real Kate. Worn, withered, distraught. That's Kate. And that's Kate. Clueless, lacking any intellectual curiosity about whatever is going on, but yet this is supposed to be the person that is the royal family's secret weapon. Or Sophie is their secret weapon. Or who else is a secret weapon? William. No, they never say William. Yeah. Lately, they have been saying that Camilla is the royal family's secret weapon. You know what? It's such a secret, we don't even see it. A matter of fact, it's such a secret that whenever they do decide to strip the royal family of all of their privileges, at that point, maybe we'll learn what the secret is. But right now, it's such a big secret, nobody can see it. So remember, that's the king's hat, that's the queen's hat, and then there's the people's hat. And the people hat need fuel to heat their homes and to take care of their kids and to feed their family. That's what their hats need. Peter Thatcher, he said this yesterday. I'm going to share it with you again. 3 white men will be UK head of state for most of the next 100 years. No females or Black Britons will be allowed to hold the highest office in UK for almost a century. It's locked in. There will be no Kamala Harris's. There will be no Barack Obamas. You'll have none of that. None of that is possible in the United Kingdom because of the hereditary monarchy, an accident of birth. The ultimate privilege of the land is to be born into that family as the heir to the throne. You don't have to do much, say much, know much. You're just there. And of course, we didn't need this, but I used my phone app for the exorcism. I actually sent in an order for an exorcist to go and wait near Westminster Abbey just in case. And it turns out we didn't actually need the exorcism today, but just in case, I did have an exorcist standing by, just in case the holy oil caused a reaction, like the scenes from the movie The Exorcist, vomit, head spinning around, spider walk, any of that stuff. And I was, all I had to do was just text and tell them to move in. And these two men from the Vatican were more than willing to go into a Protestant church and suppress the demonic forces that just went through the coronation today. But fortunately, we didn't need them. And there is a silhouette of the Queen passing on the power to Charles. Interesting. And right here, decline in the number of U.S. media crews in Saturday's coronation event in the United Kingdom indicates maybe the royal sparkle is dimming, according to Sky News Australia host Hoghead Piers Morgan. I couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell. There were fewer people on the street than anybody had expected. But aside from that, I really couldn't tell. And I really don't care. Honestly, I don't. It's not that big of a deal. But, I support people's right to dissent if they so choose to. Okay. And of course, it's a done deal. They are now crowned king and queen. You're not allowed to say consort anymore. Not consort, not cohort, but queen. She's queen. She has come a long way from where she started. Okay. And there's another one of those cozies that was created for the coronation. The one on the right side, I don't know where that one comes from. The one on the left side, that one is in Wales, I think. And as you can see, the medallions that they gave away to the 400,000 people that were available to work today with the King's cipher on the back actually has the wrong year. 6 May 2023. The 6th of May 2023. Very weird. How do you make that mistake? 2033, I'm sorry, 2033. See there? There it is up close. Now, okay, you know what? It looks like it says, all right, so from here, it looks like it says 33. And then from here, it looks like it could be a 23. It's kind of hard to see it, right? Maybe it is correct. I don't know. But as someone said, instead of making these trinkets, why don't you just pay the people more money? Pay the people more money. Now, I have a little bit of a sound bite that I'm going to play for you guys. I'm going to play this sound bite. I wanted to record it so that it would sound better, and I hope you're able to hear it. This is someone calling in to LBC radio. This is someone calling in to LBC radio. Let me do this, perhaps. LBC. Wait, where did that go? Very interesting, though. Very interesting. Okay. I'm going to use this as a little backdrop while I play it. Hang in there, you guys. It's coming up very soon. You don't want to miss this one. I hope you can hear it okay. If it's not working out, then I promise I will do it for you guys tomorrow. Oh boy, where did it go? Oh Lord. Oh, you know what? Okay. Oh, all right. I see what I did. Not to worry. I think I got it. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, you guys, I hope I have it. It's so good. It's so good, and I don't know where I put it. Oh, I think this is it. Please be it. Oh, nope, that's not it. Wait, I'm so sorry. That's not it. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, my goodness. And it was so good. Oh, okay. I got one more place I'll look. And if it's not there, forget it. If it's not there, just forget it. So there's that. There's that. Oh, man. You guys, I am so sorry. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, man. And it was so good. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I lost it. And I was going to make a video from it. Is this it? No, Lord.
So the two things have gone badly wrong, and they're both fundamental.
Nope, that's not it. You guys, I am so sorry. I have lost it. That's not it. I know. Give me a second here. It'll be so worth it if I can find it. And I can't. Oh, man. And it was brilliant. Maybe you guys saw it. It was a woman that's 92 years old, and she was on LBC, and she was totally trashing Charles. I mean, she was giving him the what for. And I don't know what I did with it. Oh, man.
I'm here with the Republic
protest.
protest.
Unfortunate. But I will find it. I will have it for you guys tomorrow. I promise. I did that yesterday. This is the Barbie that someone converted. I don't think it's for sale, but this is if Diana was alive and if Diana went to the coronation. And I know that's kind of gruesome to even ponder, but I guess at the same time, if it were true, if Diana was still here and Diana was able to go to the coronation, that, but of course that is impossible. And I guess it's not even worth dwelling on it, but it's, and of course, Diana herself said that she knew that she would never be queen. So there you have it. Oh, but you guys, I'm so sorry I could not find that video. And it was ideal. It was so perfect. And I will find it for tomorrow and play it for you because this lady was magnificent. Magnificent, I tell you. Let me try one more thing. I'm going to see if I can go to LBC and find it on the Twitter because I'm sure that that's where. And if I could just see the photo, I know I would have it. Let me see. LBC. Yeah, I'm going to try. Oh, this is it. This is it. I got it, you guys. I got it. Thank you so much for being patient. It says here, okay.
I should have been at that van.
Oh, nope, that's not it. This is it.
The UK politics.
Nope, that's not it. This is it.
First thing that I want to talk to you about is the result of Thursday's local election.
Nope, that's not it. This is it. Oh, perfect. I got it. I swear.
So I'm old enough to remember the previous coronation.
Ah.
That was just after the war. Now, we felt all together. We really did feel united. We felt united with the royal family. Although they were wealthy, we didn't know much about them. But all we knew was Buckingham Palace was bombed in one corner. The king and queen stayed there, the princesses. Whether or not it was a PR job or whatever it was, we felt united. This was what brought us together. As for enjoying, we could sing in the air raid shelters together. That was a sense of unity. Now, all these years later, we are not united, far from it. I've worked with a charity and brought together people who had relatives who had actually died on our streets. 2 years ago, just before the COVID, we were holding regular sort of memorial services. Outrageous. People are starving.
Joan, what did you...
Hold on a moment. What is happening? There's families obscenely rich. Obscenely rich. I wrote to Prince Charles and said about veterans, war veterans who had fought for their country were actually sleeping on the streets. Also, I was very conscious of poor Harry all on his own. So I have no time at all because we had to pay for it out of public purse. And when Harry wanted to come over and bring his wife and children much earlier on, they refused to offer protection for him, although he's the #1 target of the Taliban. They will never forget him. It was refused. And yet we out of public purse, had to pay all that protection. I'm sorry, but I love tradition. I love tradition. I love the idea of Westminster. I love tradition. I love the way the forces are and that. But actually, celebrating in the midst of so much hunger, I would much sooner have had Prince Albert, who actually cared about the poor. I'm 92, so I'm old enough to remember the previous coronation.
Ah.
Okay, so she said, I'm 92 and I remember the previous coronation. And if you notice, the host on LBC kept trying to interrupt her. And she said, no, hold on a minute. And I love that she, you know how they always say that the Queen Mother and King George VI, they wouldn't leave Buckingham Palace even after it was bombed. Did you hear her say, even if it was an inside job or PR? She has this 92-year-old woman who survived the war actually said that event that they love to mention in documentaries over and over again was possibly a PR job. I screamed when I heard that. I am going to play it again. Listen. Just that part. Listen.
That was just after the war. Now, we felt all together. We really did feel united. We felt united with the royal family. Although they were wealthy, we didn't know much about them. But all we knew was Buckingham Palace was bombed in one corner. The king and queen stayed there, the princesses. Whether or not it was a PR job or whatever it was, we felt united. This was what brought us together as for
She said whether or not it was a PR job, we felt united. Whether it was a PR job or what, it made us all feel united. I love her. Every so often, someone will call into the LBC, and even though they keep trying to disrupt them, oh, thank you so much, Sean. Sent it to me on Twitter. Thank you, Sean, and thank you for the super chat. And Allie, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member and also for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you very much, and happy Saturday. Happy Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor birthday to you. Oh, man. But yes, that was epic. Whether it was a PR job, she had me at PR job. I'm telling you guys, she had me at PR job. I'm like, is she married? Because I will marry her. I will run to the store. I will get her necessary medications or whatever. I will marry that lady. But, she said we felt together, and she just does not feel that connection. And she also felt very strongly about the way that Harry has been mistreated. So, this is why I say these people that are writing these stories in the tabloids, they do not speak for everyone in Britain. They don't speak for everyone any place. This is some very desperate people who are afraid of the future. If they let go of some of these things, some of these relics from the past, they're just afraid that they're going to lose control. And that's what Harry said, is that when people are bullies like that, the one thing that worries them the most, the tabloid media, is that they're going to lose control, because that means that the overlords that owns those organizations, the 5 individuals in the United Kingdom, including Rupert Murdoch from Australia, that controls the news, the 6 media giants here in the US, of course, Rupert Murdoch being one of them, that controls the media. These people are frightening because they have even hijacked the social media. Daily Mail has just started a TikTok channel. Daily Mail is on TikTok now because they don't want to lose control. And they're trying to steal the hearts and minds of the young people who do not accept these situations as being reasonable, or that is even legal or moral or tenable. They want nothing to do with it. And that's what frightens them. So with that, you guys, I am done for today. I am going to, I don't know where our queens are. So have you guys watched the Bridgerton? I have not watched it yet, but I don't know. I may try to start one tonight, perhaps. That means I'll be stuck in front of the TV for 24 hours a day until I have completed it. It's probably I don't know how many hours it is, but whenever it's done, it's done. But I want to start watching it. But, oh, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that was here earlier today or yesterday for some of you for the coronation. That was a lot of fun. I was shady. I was tired. I was punchy, but I had fun. And then this afternoon, I come back and you guys are still here. We are going to finish up with the coronation tomorrow. I promise there's so much more I wanted to share. Especially you guys, David Starkey. Are you guys familiar with David Starkey? David Starkey he's that historian. He said some things about the coronation that was so offensive. I will share it with you tomorrow. I promise. I can't wait to share it. Um, I have to admit, in a twisted kind of way, it kind of made me laugh, but also it was super offensive. But I will share that with you tomorrow for sure, because I want to make sure that you can hear it properly. And also, this caller, I'm going to definitely save this so that I can share it with you guys again, because I want to keep that one as a record. You know what I mean? And that's was my plan for today, was to make sure that I kept certain things that may disappear from the airwaves. And that 92-year-old woman whose memory is as sharp as a tack, we definitely want to hear her truth again. Sometimes we need that for moral support. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Andrew and Lady Bird and Andrea and Ingrid. Cookies and Cream, Terry H. Let me see here. Pam Porter, Black Queen, Joya Moore. Thank you all very much. I should go and rest my voice, I think. Yeah, it doesn't even seem like I was on twice today, but it has been twice in one day. But trust me, I'm enjoying it. David Starkey. David Starkey is a historian, and he. Okay. I do have. Oh, really? Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Shelley L. I do have a David Starkey. Do I? I don't think so, but I'll share it with you tomorrow. He's a nasty individual, and he does not hold back much. He does not hold back much. Yeah. If you Google his name, you will see him. You could search him on the YouTube. And chances are, if you look far enough, you are going to find something offensive. I promise you. He's a very volatile individual. And he doesn't really hold back. He's just puts it out there. And if you don't like it, so what? That is the way he does things. So let me see. And he even called Charles a fool. He even referred to Charles as a fool for not, for actually, the stuff that Princess Anne was speaking of. He said that Charles was a fool for any admission of reparations, well, not reparations, but any idea of acknowledging the history of slavery. David Starkey thought that they would use that as a weapon against the royal family. But I'll share that with you some more tomorrow. Okay, so love you guys. Thank you so much. And also, so I don't have to dig so far, today you were in our hearts, Diana, and you will continue to be. And as Harry is your son, and of course, the rightful heir to being the people's anything, in his case, the people's prince, we will be there to protect him. We will call out the monsters that try to attack him. And also, Doria, for your rock solid support of this family, of the Sussexes, the Sussex children. I don't imagine any of this would have been possible for them if it wasn't for Doria's presence. So Doria deserves as much celebration, as many flowers as possible. So aside for all the other mothers in my life, Mother's Day is especially about Doria, because it could not have been easy for her to endure all this stuff. So, oh well, that. Oh, by the way, thank you, Shelly L. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up today. And let me end with Archie's photo here. There we go. I'll leave that there. I really love this one. But yeah, Prince Archie, may all your wishes and desires come true. He is the proprietor of a institution in Montecito known as Chick Inn, and he is the very proud owner and proprietor of Chick Inn, where they raise the strongest chickens and produce the freshest, largest eggs anywhere in all of Montecito. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Lydia. I am going to go. It is dinner's time. It's a late dinner, but I'm going to make dinner, and I'm going to have some lemon rice, and I think it's whatever. It's Indian chicken of some sort, saroma chicken or something. Anyway, I'm going to have that for dinner. Lemon rice. Oh, I can't wait. And a piece of flatbread. Yeah, nice little piece of flatbread. So there we go. All right, I will see you guys. And to close out today, oh, thank you so much. That is perfect. Thank you so much for that, Faith. Faith says, happy birthday, King Archie. All right, that sounds like a closing to me. And with that, you guys, I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger, and I will see you all tomorrow. But I'm so glad I put a larger bubble, thing up there for the comments. I can see that so much easier. I don't know what I was thinking with that smaller one I was using. I guess I was trying to save more space on the screen. But all right, let's cue the Ginger Avenger and get out of here. Thank you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.